So in this segment, we're going to be discussing the Conservative Party losing more and more kind of core support. This over the small votes. I did have another clip where one of the Tory lords, I think, was saying like Sunak's kind of made the small boat issue a rod for his own back because he knew he was never going to be able to stop the small boats. But I don't have that one, unfortunately. But you can see here that the Tories are losing their core voter base.
Well, our Deputy Political Editor, Sam Coates, is here. And Sam, there's so much politics at play with this important story.
That's right, which is why I wanted to take us to have a look at the most recent YouGov poll, which I think is really striking today. Look at this. This is the voting intention according to YouGov, 25 percentage point lead for Labour. This poll is significant for two reasons. First of all, for only the second time, the Tories dropped below.
So I just want to give you guys the updated poll because videos. You can see here, Tories have kind of crept back up to 21, Reform are on 16, and Labour have dropped to 40. But, you know, all polling data gives you is access to a snapshot on a given day. So it'll be 1920. This is how people thought on that given day.
20 to 19 points. And look at this. Reform, highest ever number of 15%, way ahead of the...
It's higher now.
Lib Dems in third place. So that is a very significant result. Now, I think what's really interesting about this poll is why this is. Right, look at this. Wind back to the Brexit referendum and how those voters behaved in the last general election. So these people all voted Brexit in 2016 and they almost all voted Conservative when Boris Johnson was fighting the Get Brexit Done election massively in...
So with this number, it's very low. I think it's partially because they dropped so many candidates in certain seats. I think this Reform figure would have been higher, but I think it might have been at the expense of maybe more Labour than the Conservatives.
The Tories favour there. Now, look at how that compares to today.
What?
Wow.
Reform actually beats the Conservative Party today. The Conservative Party has lost 2016 Leave voters. That is a big problem. And I think the boat's playing to that.
It's extraordinary to see that actually laid out there and how Reform... Look, I mean, it's important to put it in context. You know, these are not guys who are going to, waltz through winning loads of seats at the next election. But
they don't necessarily have to win lots of seats. All they have to do is cost the Tory seats and then become the main right-wing party at that point. They have to say, look, you guys are the ones splitting the votes now. The Tory party are the ones splitting the votes now. Let us have these seats. Give us the money. Give us the funding, not to them. Their brand is toxic. No one likes them. No one's going to support them.
But it's fair to say that they could have a real impact on the result.
People in the Tory party are talking about the 1997 precedent. Back then, a sort of precursor to all of the Brexit and Reform Party were called the Referendum Party. Jimmy Goldsmith was its leader. They didn't win seats, but they just chunks of vote away from the Conservatives, delivering the Labour Party dozens more seats than they otherwise would have done. That could well be the impact of poll numbers like this if they're replicated in the general election.
And I bet Number 10 are going to be scratching their heads trying to work out how to deal with that threat. Sam, thank you very much.
It's a war on two fronts for the Conservative Party, and so far they've done poorly on both fronts. So what that means for them in the election, I think we're going to see them lose a lot of core votes to the Reform UK Party, and that's going to let Labour and potentially the Lib Dems maybe sneak a few seats. But it depends on dispersal. Dispersal is the key under first past the post. It doesn't matter about what percentage you win. It's all about where your voters are placed. That's why UKIP had so many votes in 2016, had no seats. The same thing with some of the other parties. It's how it works under first past the post. It doesn't matter what percentage you win. It's about where your voters are based. And so for the Reform UK Party, regardless of if they do get 15% of the vote, they could still win no seats. It's just a question of where are their voters placed and who are they going to take voters from. That's the key. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Support the channel on Patreon if you can. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one.